Welcome to Game Theory Essentials. Today we will dive into the concepts of dominant strategy. Whether you are studying economics, political science, or just love strategic thinking, understanding dominant strategies is crucial. What is dominant strategy? A dominant strategy is a strategy that results in the highest payoff for a player, no matter what the other players do. In other words, it's the best move a player can make regardless of the actions of the others. If we want to provide a definition of it, we can say that a strategy that is the best for a player regardless of the strategies chosen by the other players. So there are three parts in this definition of dominant strategy. A strategy that is the best for a player, which is regardless of the strategies chosen by the other players. So it is independent. And if we want to find the key characteristics of a dominant strategy, then we can classify it in three categories. Best response, it always gives the highest payoff. Independence, it's independent of other players' actions. And finally, rationality. Rational players will always choose their dominant strategy if one exists. A classic example is the prisoner's dilemma. Imagine two criminals, Alice and Bob, are arrested and interrogated separately. They can either confess or stay silent. So both of them have similar strategy, either confess or stay silent. For both Alice and Bob, confessing is a dominant strategy because it gives a better outcome regardless of the other choices. Let's analyze this. If Alice confesses and Bob confesses, then Alice will get 5 years in jail, and if Bob stays silent, then he or she will get 0 years in jail. If Alice stays silent, he might be in risk for 10 years if Bob confesses, and if Bob silent, then he will be in jail for 1 year. So 5 years or 0 if Alice confesses is preferred to 10 years or 1 year if Alice stays silent. So confess is the best outcome for Alice, and the payoff matrix for Bob also shows that 5 and 0 is greater than 10 and 1. So also in the perspective of Bob, confesses again gives him the best outcome. We can see this example in a more simpler way. Alice's payoff from confesses 5 and 0 is greater than 10 and 1 if Alice want to confess, because we are saying 5 and 0 is greater than 10 and 1 in the sense that 5 years jail will be preferred to 10 years jail, and 0 years means completely free to move is preferred to 1 year jail. In the same way, Bob's payoff from confesses 5 and 0 is preferred to 10 and 1 payoff from stay silent. So Bob's preferences of confess also gives him the best outcome. We can say that utility in 5 years in prison will be preferred to 10 years in prison. Again, utility 0 years in prison will be preferred to 1 year in prison. So in the perspective of Alice, confess, and also from the perspective of Bob, confess gives them maximum outcome. So, while both players have dominant strategies, we can say that Alice and Bob will be in confess situation, and confess will be the dominant strategy for this game. Applications of dominant strategies. Dominant strategies are not just theoretical, they are used in various fields like economics and politics, countries deciding on trade politics, computer science, algorithms for competitive price settings. However, not all games have dominant strategies. Sometimes player must consider mixed strategies or Nash equilibria, where no player benefits from unilaterally changing their strategies. To recap, a dominant strategy is the best move for a player, regardless of the other actions. It simplifies decision making, but is not always available. Understanding it helps in strategic planning across various fields. Thank you for watching. For more on game theory, check out these resources and continue exploring how strategic decisions shape our world.